can you see it? Streaming the truth live from where they decree it. Sylvia speaks, no filter, no buffer. Courtroom drama couldn't get any tougher.
When the gavel's first bang, to the witness turns tears. Sylvia's lens captures all your hopes and fears. Uploading justice one trial at a time. Tune in every moment, edges sublime.
Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Faces tell stories, the courtroom can't hide. Sylvia's insights cut through the divide. From jury talks to the lawyer's secret. In Sylvia's world, you know you'll need it. Behind the scenes where whispers are loud, her lens reveals the truth in the crowd. Courtroom secrets laid bare to see. Stay curious with Sylvia Spree. Every objection, every sharp retort, Sylvia's there to give you the report. Exclusive footage no one else can snag. From catchy headlines straight to the tag. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show.
Faces tell.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I wanted to be in this room together so we can watch the press conference of Charlie Kirk's, the suspect that did the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. So I figured, hey, we'll have our own little space to watch the press conference. It hasn't started. It was supposed to start at 9 o'clock, but it hasn't started yet. But the individual turned himself in. Let me play what Donald Trump said this morning on I think it was Good Morning America, but let me just go ahead and play this for you. Hold on.
Yesterday you were at the 9/11 memorial. We were all watching that. Yeah. J.D. Vance was supposed to be with you. He went out to be with Charlie Kirk's family and to get the body back to his hometown in Arizona. And you said you were going to award him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which was very nice of you. Any updates on this suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. Okay? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant. That was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But, yeah, I think we're in great shape.
Mr. President,
he's in custody.
Your suspicion was that he was radical left, and now you have more information. What can you share with us about his ideology?
Yeah, Lars, let me and by the way, Lars is doing a good job. What's going on?
Job, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm very proud of you. I said you were going to do well. Yeah, I think that I don't want to go too far. I'd like to tell you some stories at how it happened, but essentially somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens when you had some of those good shots. Somebody is going to say, whether it's a parent or whatever, I'd rather not say right now. They're going to announce it.
Do you know Trump just called Brian Lawrence? Trump just called the news anchor, the black news anchor, Brian Lawrence. His name is Brian, not Lawrence.
Today, sometime later, probably talk about that. But somebody close to him turned and, they said, whoa, it's interesting. We had very good pictures, but not great, not perfect. And when you look at it, what happened is somebody, and this happens a lot. It happened with the crazy Boston bomber. It happened with others. Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And brought him to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic. And the father convinced the son, and this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So you have breaking news, don't you? Huh?
Thank you.
You always have breaking news, Ainsley. Sean's going to be very disappointed that we're not doing it on his show.
He'll be very thankful and appreciative of the police officers that got this guy.
They did a great job. Everybody worked together. Pam Bondi is incredible, by the way. People don't know what a star she is. She's incredible. And it all worked out.
Can I ask you just some clarification? So a pastor was able to turn him in, or they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal. And they took it from there. And then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, we got to go in. And so they understand it. And again, subject to change. But, the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Did the father know about what the son had done?
I don't know. I'm going to let you get all those questions later, because I can't tell you how accurate. The bottom line is they have somebody that they think did it.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
You see, his name is Brian Kilmeade. So that's the name, Brian, not Lawrence. Poor Trump. Got the wrong name. All right, y'all. I just ended it because it says I'm burned. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, my wonderful ex-folks. You guys in here deep. Look at y'all. Ex-folks got it deep up in here. Good morning, Ex. We're waiting for them to start the press conference. They haven't started yet. I wanted to get on here and have a little space for us to be able to talk with one another inside here while we listen to the press conference of everything that has transpired since the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. So good morning, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful evening. So while we wait, anybody have any burning conversation, burning thoughts, ideas in regard to this whole unaliving of Charlie Kirk? First, I want to tell you where I stand in regard to this whole thing, right? The man had a right to have a difference of opinion. He has a right of freedom of speech. We all have our rights of freedom of speech. This is America, okay? For him to lose his life because he thinks differently, I have a real problem with that. It is crazy. And the craziest thing is for people to be celebrating his unaliving. That was the craziest thing. The craziest. I was like, what is wrong with the people? There's so much demonic spirit out there that you would just rejoice if somebody's getting shot in the neck. Really, folks? I was like, what in the world's wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? But I totally disagree with that whole rejoicing and having a great time because a man was just unalive. That is so evil. Evil. It was not cool. And then for it to show on the news and stuff, because people capturing things right now on with their cell phones and stuff like that. It was crazy, crazy. I know he one of the people he talked most about was black women. And I know Infamous Sylvia, it's insane. The world is pitiful. It is, Auntie Wanda. It is very pitiful. For you to rejoice in someone getting, oh my God, and that man didn't do anything to anybody. I'm talking about me as a black woman. He didn't do anything to me other than talk his smack. You know what I'm saying? He did, and he has a right to feel the way he feels and talk the way he talk. That's his right. As long as he doesn't put his hands on anybody, he can talk his talk. I mean, it is what it is. Like, when you just get yourself away from that environment. If you don't like what he's saying, don't listen to him. That's all I got to say. Don't listen to him. But for you to sit around and take him out like that, oh no, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Not cool at all. And people trying to justify doing it, saying, "Oh, y'all wasn't saying that when he was talking all this evilness about black women and stuff like that." Man, I could care less what anybody say about me. Y'all, people talk about me all the time, all the time. Does that mean I'm gonna go and retaliate and start doing evil stuff because they have a difference of opinion of me? I could care less. The only thing you could do is educate a person, and if they don't take that education and prove them wrong, doing violence on somebody's opinion is kind of crazy. It's really crazy. I totally disagree. Totally disagree with that. I don't care how much he said about, come on, y'all. We all have our thoughts and feelings, and we can express it. I don't know. It's crazy. We're still waiting for the conference to start. I'm just running my mouth before it starts. But as soon as it starts, I will shut up. A man did come up there and said, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. So I guess they're trying to get everything together. It was supposed to start since 9 o'clock. And it is 9:29 right now. And it still has not started. So, and folks are playing the sound bites of him saying negative things about different groups, trying to justify the action of someone doing something evil like that. I totally disagree, y'all. I totally disagree. You guys don't have to agree with me, but how's everyone morning thus far? Is everyone having a great morning? Is everyone having a great morning? We got 256 in the chat. Most of it is from my ex folks. Hey, ex people. Good morning, my ex folks. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you guys. Hope you guys are having a great day. I wish the numbers would come over here on YouTube, so I can get some numbers running over here. Help a sister out with the numbers. Run those numbers up. Pretty good. I moved back to Atlanta and headed out to interview in the. Oh, congratulations on your interview. You got this. You got this, Auntie. You got this. Um, what made you move back to Atlanta? Hey, Alicia. Good morning, everybody that's coming in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You know what? Let me go into this chat and say good morning, folks. Good morning, Denver. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Tracy B. Good morning, Tendon. Good morning, Auntie Wanda. Good morning, Serena. Good morning, C Sheets 26 GGL. Good morning, Tonika Hightower Porter. Good morning, McCain Cornell. Good morning, Jackie Beasley. Good morning, Nosy Rosie Grand. Good morning, Nighty Lynn. Good morning, Say. Good morning, Alicia. All right, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, you're right, Say. Words have power. You got to watch what you say. That's why you got to say positive things. You got to change your thinking to more positive things, so positive things will happen. Sometimes we call certain things into our existence by our words. Our words. So watch your mouth. Watch your mouth and what you say. Words have power. Yeah. So I'm rich. I'm wealthy. Y'all help me out keeping my words in a positive manner, y'all, because I refuse to say stuff that's going to bring stuff towards my life negatively. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. No, that's right. Me too. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna stop putting y'all stuff up so because people don't see it. That's right. Me too. That's right. Dollar bill, dollar bill, dollar bill, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning, people. It is great to be alive and no pain this morning. I got up, didn't have no pain in the body. You know, sometimes I get up, I feel like, but I'm not even gonna say the words because words have power. So I feel great this morning. I could raise my hand up high. I can clap my hand. I can see. I can touch, I can feel. All right, let's see what Auntie Wanda says. Thank you. The kids are all grown, and I wanted to see how this time things will be without babies. So it's just me, plus there are better opportunities here than Alabama. You think so? I think it's a bunch of folks scrambling around trying to find work. And it's a lot more people here than Alabama. Well, you're probably right. It probably is more opportunity than Alabama. You're probably certainly right on that part. Yeah, I agree with you. Y'all, I'm gonna try to find something to do with this head of mine. I really like that look that I had yesterday. The wild, unmaintained mane, looking like the Lion King. I really like that yesterday. I really do. But I want it like really round. And if I want it round, that means I have to get it cut. Do I want to get my hair cut? I don't know. I don't know. Should I get it cut? I'm trying to let it grow. I did trim the ends. I did trim the ends. Maybe I'll get it cut down a little bit and but not down too far. I kind of like that Afro wild look, but I want it like, hey, Happy Annie, good morning. Good morning, Marge. What should I do? All that are coming in right now. I see we're almost at 300 folks in the chat. Good morning, Brandy. What we're doing, we're waiting for the press conference to start. We're waiting for the press conference to start, and Fox News is the one that has that the ability to, show this right now because the other stations are just showing blank things until it starts. But Fox News is the camera people. They're sharing it out to everybody. So shout out to Fox News. And let me put my what's the name down here. Let me put my thing down here. Let me put my former ways to why is it blue? Why my thing blue? It's supposed to be purple. Why is it blue? What the heck? That's a no. That's not my color. That is not my color, y'all. Why is it blue? This thing is always screwing up with my stuff. It's supposed to be purple, not blue. My banner's supposed to be purple, not blue. What the heck is going on here? Let's see, what's going on? Why is it purple? Why is it blue? It's not my color. My name and everything is not my color. What in the world? Purple. It's supposed to be purple. There we go. There we go. Let's do it. How we gonna do it? We're gonna do it deep. All right, there we go. There we go. They try to mess with me, y'all. We don't do that blue stuff. We are purple girl in here. Apparently, his dad was a marshal and turned him in or convinced him to turn himself in after he told his dad what he did. Really, Annie? His dad was a marshal? Oh my God. Oh, child. Is that how he knew how to shoot so well? Is that how he knew how to shoot so well? Wow. Interesting. Do tell more, Annie. Tell us more. What else do you know? What else can you tell us? What insight can you provide for us? We got a different angle. Yeah, I want to see a different angle of this. We have my sister station here in Atlanta. They show a different angle of this. Y'all want to see a different angle instead of just straight up in the front? Let me know if y'all want to see a different angle, because the Atlanta Fox channel, they showing it where it's wider. They have the 3 flag. Do y'all want to see that? Or you just want to see it like this way? You want to be nosy and see everything around? The guy's gonna just walk by here in a minute. Okay, let's go be nosy. Let's go look at Fox way, the Atlanta Fox, because we're nosy. Okay, let's go look at the Fox way. Hold on. We're gonna be nosy over there. We're gonna stop. We're gonna go inch here. This is the Fox way. Okay, we're gonna be nosy that way. See, they got it all 3 flags changed. That was it. See everything around. We have 302 people in the chat now. Hey guys, at X, we're still waiting for them to begin. We're still waiting for the press conference to begin. In the meantime, guys, just say hello to the people in the chat. Say hello to one another. Hey, Lisa, Keisha, good morning. Say hello to the folks in the chat. Get acquainted with one another. We're still waiting for them to start. Thank you for the 302 people in the chat. Thank you for this morning. It's the FBI that's doing the press conference. They have so many servicemen out there, the army, the military folks are out there in Utah. Hey, roll up one. Good morning. Thank you for 305 is in the chat now. Come on, good morning, everybody. Good morning, X folks. We're still waiting for them to come out. We're still waiting, people. They caught that guy so fast. I know he knew he was going to try to get away, especially with all those cameras. There's cameras everywhere, y'all. There's cameras everywhere. Hey, Miss DMV. Good morning. Good morning, Miss DMV. Those are on X. You guys can type in and say hello. Good morning to all of us in here. We're just trying to spend some time and watch what happens. Tell everybody we're over here in the family, watching it together. It's just saying we live in a world where we can speak and debate our differences without violence. Exactly. That's what I said. Exactly. The man was speaking from his perspective. I mean, if you disagree with him, why even go to his rallies? Why even go and replace yourself with something that makes you feel uncomfortable? Why even do that? Yeah, then he turned himself in. His dad turned. Oh, did it start yet? What am I watching? Something here. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, that's yesterday. That's yesterday's thing. Listen.
Yesterday, during the investigative process, we located a couple of persons of interest. We interviewed those individuals. And after releasing them and after clearing them, we gave a suspect.
Hold on.
Check 1 2, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Check 1 2 1 2 3 4.
Okay, we'd continue to listen to this other one here. Hold on. This is from yesterday.
They don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that. I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They've worked around the clock, all day yesterday, through the night last night. Investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, the university, our federal partners with the FBI, the ATF, and many
Hey,
others.
Kat.
Those are just a few of the people that we have involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads. We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time. We are working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual. If we are unsuccessful, we will reach out to you as the media and we will push that publicly to help us identify them. But we're confident in our abilities right now, and we would like to move forward in a manner that keeps everyone safe and moves this process appropriately. Last night I communicated with Erica. The family's devastated. As a commissioner of public safety, as a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks, we've seen this state come together to help families in mourning, come together as a community to show what Utah is known for a state of character, of service, of camaraderie, of a neighboring feel. We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was, and how we will work to bring to justice the actions of one individual or any other individuals that assisted in that. Our state has gone through a lot, and we will come out successful. With that, I'll turn the time over to Special Agent Bowles. Charge.
Good morning. My name is Robert Bowles, and I am the Special Agent in charge of the Salt Lake Field Office. Following yesterday's tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, FBI agents have been working around the clock in coordination with our law enforcement partners.
Okay, what we're listening to is a press conference that happened yesterday. Okay, so it's not happening right now. We're waiting for the one to currently start, but we're just listening to what happened the other day. Okay.
The weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. The FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people. It's to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Any attack on the First Amendment is an attack on the very foundation of our democracy. That is why we will relentlessly pursue this case.
Who's it? Who's talking? You asked Dizzy. It's It's the special agent that was in charge of the local area in Utah. So we're just listening to the press conference that happened yesterday. Okay.
If you have any video or images from the shooting, we ask you to please submit them to our digital media tip website at www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley Shooting. You can also call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. We truly rely on the public's help in these types of cases, and no tip is too small or insignificant. Thank you.
All right, here they go. My mic not working yet.
Hello, hello, testing, testing. Hi, everyone. We are 4 minutes out from starting the press conference. Thank you.
4 minutes, y'all. 4 minutes out. They said they're going to start the press conference. Okay, we're going to continue listening to this one while we wait.
Suspect blended in well with a college institution. We're not releasing any details right now, and we will soon. But right now we're not. But that individual appears to be of college. We are confident in our abilities to track that individual. If we're unsuccessful in identifying them immediately, we will reach out for the public's help and the media's help in pushing those photos. That was a new development overnight, working through the night, studying those cameras. So that's something that's new and that we're working through right now. As far as the security, I cannot speak to that. Neither the Department of Public Safety nor the Federal Bureau of Investigation was involved in the planning or security of this event, and that'll have to be a question later for other agencies.
So that's a good question, and it's a question that goes to the safety of the community, right? No, not in those woods. We walked through those woods in security. As to the community, I can tell you that this was a targeted event. We don't believe that the community is at risk. However, we are exhausting every resource to find him, and we will do so. So I can't comment specifically on his face or any details such as that, as it's continuing to be part of the investigation, and again, we'll release that shortly. However,
Okay, hello. She's actually about to start. Hold on, y'all. She's just taking pictures. Never mind.
we will do our best. We have images of the suspect. Again, as part of the investigation, we're not releasing any details of that right now. We are exhausting all of our resources to be able to collect those, but that's, again, part of the investigation. Excuse me. We are working on that, but again, part of the investigation. Not at all. We've got complete and total support from everyone, from the director on down, and it's been an incredible supportive environment so far. All I can say is that we're working the investigation the best we have with the environment we're given.
Good morning. I'm Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. I'd be remiss if we didn't start off today and recognize the significance of the day. Historically, on 9/11, law enforcement has come together as a group to recognize and honor those that sacrificed to preserve the ideals of this country, the freedoms of this country. And instead, we find ourselves today hunting a murderer who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country. Just to recap yesterday's events, at around 12:20 p.m., political influencer Charlie Kirk was at Utah Valley University participating in a student-sponsored event with Turning Point USA. Charlie was shot at that event. He was transported to a local hospital where he later passed. Last night, his body was moved to the state office of the medical examiner. We will continue to facilitate movements to get him home today and with his family. Yesterday, during the investigative process, we located a couple of persons of interest. We interviewed those individuals, and after releasing them and after clearing them of being suspects, they faced scrutiny. They faced threats. Investigative process. These individuals were not suspects, they were people of interest. We ask that you do not impose into those people and that investigative process. They don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that. I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They have worked around the clock, all day yesterday, through the night last night. Investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, the university, our federal partners with the FBI, the ATF, and many others. Those are just a few of the people that we have involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., the subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We had tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building.
He's just repeating himself. It's a repeat on this. So I was just playing it for those who did not come and hear it. Okay, this is from yesterday's press conference. Today's press conference has not started. She said it 4 minutes, and 4 minutes has passed, and still no press conference. Maybe it'll start at 10 o'clock on the dot. Hopefully. Good morning. We have 365 folks up in here. I know a lot of you guys are on the X side. Thank you for coming into this channel. I wish you guys would move over to YouTube so I can get some numbers running. But if not, welcome. It's Infamous Sylvia on YouTube as well. Yeah, they're on some weird time. We only got 65 people on the YouTube side. Everybody's on X. Good morning, X folks. Thank you for running the numbers. But can y'all come over to the other side? Oh, there's over 300 something people in X watching. Let me go post, be right back. Okay, Dizzy, thank you. It's 10 o'clock, lady. Can we start, please? It is 10 o'clock.
Breaking news now at 13 past the hour. President Trump, in an appearance that is ongoing on another network, just said that there is now a suspect in custody for the Charlie Kirk assassination. We'll say that again. President Trump just now announcing that a suspect is in custody connected to the Charlie Kirk killing of a few days ago. The president just said this on Fox and Friends. I'll read the quote. I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. Essentially, somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens, the president adds. He goes on to say that a tip stemmed from a minister, Trump says he believes, who passed the tip to a friend who was a U.S. Marshal, and involved the father of the suspect. We have identity yet. We don't have the name of the suspect. President Trump himself saying that he learned of it just a few moments before he stepped on set. This all take place in the last couple minutes, as you might imagine. This is a very fluid situation. Seems like the president himself was just briefed on this. There were some details he acknowledged he did not know. But to recap the breaking news, of course, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the conservative political commentator and organizer, shot in broad daylight on a college campus in Utah a couple of days ago. A video graphic went around the world very quickly. There's been an intensive manhunt for the suspect here. You're seeing the individual on your screen. These are images released by the police yesterday.
Hold on. There you go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. At today's press conference, we will hear from Governor Cox, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bo Mason, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, and local and federal law enforcement partners. Following the remarks today, Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in that conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point. leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact, Tyler, also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there has been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this?" ? Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" ! Catch! Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow," and a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who has worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah. But I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilized these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver it to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community, because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support, and you gave it to us. We needed your patience, and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family, because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you, everybody, for everybody that have stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
I also want to give a special thanks to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and their commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
Thank you again to our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me a moment just to share a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here, and maybe a little bit of where we go from here. I don't want to get too preachy, but I think it's important that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today. I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country, and violence is tragic everywhere, and every life taken is a child of God who deserves our love and respect and dignity. This is certainly about the tragic death, political assassination of Charlie Kirk. But it is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times. Political violence is different than any other type of violence for lots of different reasons. One, because in the very act that Charlie championed of expression, that freedom of expression that is enshrined in our founding documents, in having his life taken in that very act, makes it more difficult for people to feel like they can share their ideas, that they can speak freely. We will never be able to solve all the other problems, including the violence problems that people are worried about, if we can't have a clash of ideas safely and securely. Even, especially those ideas with which you disagree. That's why this matters so much. Over the last 48 hours, I have been as angry as I have ever been, as sad as I have ever been. And It was, as anger pushed me to the brink, it was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back. I'd like to share some of those. And specifically right now, if I could, I need to talk to the young people in our state, in my state, and all across the country. As President Trump reminded me, he said, you know who really loved Charlie? The youths. And he's right. Young people loved Charlie, and young people hated Charlie. And Charlie went into those places anyway. And these are the words that have helped me. Charlie said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence. He said, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. Welcome without judgment, love without condition, forgive without limit. He said, always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. A few months ago, I referenced this last night, Charlie posted to social media, when things are moving very fast and people are losing their minds, it's important to stay grounded. Turn off your phone, read scripture, spend time with friends, and remember, internet fury is not real life. It's going to be okay. He again said, when you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to commit violence. He said, what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable agreement, where violence is not an option. Now, again, to my young friends out there, you are inheriting a country where politics feels like rage. It feels like rage is the only option. But through those words, we have a reminder that we can choose a different path. Your generation has an opportunity to build a culture that is very different than what we are suffering through right now. Not by pretending differences don't matter, but by embracing our differences and having those hard conversations. I think we need more moral clarity right now. I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence. And there is one person responsible for what happened here. And that person is now in custody and will be charged soon and will be held accountable. And yet, all of us have an opportunity right now to do something different. I want to thank my fellow Utahns. This bad stuff happens. For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here. And it was one of us. But I want you to look at how Utahns reacted the last 2 nights. There was no rioting. There was no looting. There were no cars set on fire. There was no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity.
Wait a minute, there was no fighting. Wait a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe is the answer.
I saw some fighting.
We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes. Because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse. But see, these are choices that we can make. History will dictate if this is a turning point for our country. But every single one of us gets to choose right now if this is a turning point for us. We get to make decisions. We have our agency. And I desperately call on every American, Republican, Democrat, liberal, progressive, conservative, MAGA, all of us to please, please, please follow what Charlie taught me. I'll just conclude with words I share often from a friend and author Yuval Levin, who was asked if he was optimistic about our country, and he said, "I'm not optimistic." He said, "I hate optimism." God, that sounds bad. But he said, optimism is a vice. It's this idea that good things are just going to happen. And he said, in the history of the world, good things have never just happened. He says, I'm not optimistic, but I am hopeful. And hope is the virtue that sits between the vices of optimism and pessimism. Hope is the idea that good things are going to happen because we can make them so. I still believe in our country. And I know Charlie Kirk believed in our country. I still believe that there is more good among us than evil. And I still believe that we can change the course of history. I'm hopeful because Americans can make it so. Ladies and gentlemen, we're happy to answer any questions you might have. I cannot speak to that. Well, I will leave that up to you to interpret what those engravings mean. I think the clearest one that says "catch fascist," there's not, and by the way, that's like catch like a ball, catch this. That's I think that speaks for itself. There's nothing more that we can share at this time.
He hasn't said anything that helpful to the press.
We do not at this time have any information that would lead to any additional arrests. Yes, but the investigation is ongoing.
He acted alone.
Yes, so right now, Mr. Robinson has been booked into the Utah County Jail. You heard the president this morning report that he was taken into custody, that his family and a friend helped to deliver him into custody of law enforcement in Washington County. For those of you that don't know where Washington County is, it is the southwesternmost part of the state of Utah. It's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive from here, where we are right now, and that's where he lived and where they turned him in. Please, I go here. I can't share any more than what I've already shared. Yeah. So how we obtained the gun was found here. So I don't have much more details on that. We do know that he drove. We had his car here on campus, and then we had his car going south back to the St. George. Well, it's actually the city of Washington in Washington County. I'm sorry? We don't have any information that would lead us to believe that. Yes, in fact, it was just released. Yes. I can't answer that right now. Yeah, thank you. Over here. I absolutely believe that this is a watershed in American history. Yes. The question is, what kind of watershed? And that chapter remains to be written. Is this the end of a dark chapter in our history, or the beginning of a darker chapter in our history? Look, I mean, if you look at true political assassinations in this country of someone of this stature, this feels a lot like the late 60s. And having one so gruesomely displayed on camera in all of our hands and in all of our pockets. We are not wired as human beings biologically, historically. We have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent imagery. And by the way, we've seen another one with a gruesome stabbing very recently that went viral. This is not good for us. It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer on our society right now. And I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community. That is happening, and it's happening organically right now. I had a friend in a small city in Utah who said, we're getting together. The Republicans and Democrats in my little town are getting together to have a discussion last night, just to find a way to find their better angels. So yes, this could be. I mean, again, you have to go back to JFK to have seen a video live of something like this happening. I wasn't born until 1975, but I know that things were really dark in the late 60s. Sorry to some of you. I know some of you were there. But
I said I know some people.
This is our moment. Do we escalate, or do we find an off-ramp? And again, it's a choice. It's a choice, and every one of us gets to make that choice. Two more questions right here. I cannot comment if there is a direct connection or not, but all I can say is that that through some process, the family came to know that this had happened. Correct. Yes. So when he's first spotted on campus, he has different clothing on, and then he changes clothing on the roof, and then changed back into that clothing at some point, so that when he was apprehended, when he was arrested, the clothing matched the clothing he had on before the shooting here at UVU. Last question here. Yes. Yeah. So I don't have any information on the mental illness part. He was not a student here at UVU. He was living and had lived for a long time with his family in Washington County, in the southernmost part of our state. Thank you, everyone, for your great work in getting this information out. I would just say, process-wise, this may be important. I know many of you aren't familiar with the process in Utah. I think it's important that you understand that. Basically, we have 3 days for charging documents to be filed. A CI will be filed. We'll have more information then, more detailed information as those charging documents are filed in preparation for a preliminary hearing. So 3 days. So we would anticipate then that early next week those charging documents will be filed. We will obviously be working. The county attorney will be working very closely with Mr. Kirk's family as those documents and decisions are prepared and made. Thanks, everyone.
All right, y'all. It is the end. Let's see what they do at the end. Patel is short, isn't he? Patel is real short. He's the shortest one with all of them. All right. That is it, y'all. That was the press conference. You say it sounded like the speech was one-sided. I want them to ask about who gets the money. Was the roommate get the money or the father? Because the father, the one brought him in, right? So the family gets part of the charge. I don't know if the family gets part of the charge. I would encourage people to cut off the political leads with their crazy. Yeah, you're right. All that craziness. Okay, guys, I'm about to get off because I have some updates that I need to do for you guys, and also start what my new case is that I'll be reporting on. And I have to take a trip down to Lawrenceville to figure out how to do my Rule 22 for the case Mr. Steele has coming up. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, y'all. Bye. Yes, I will be doing a new case. It's a cold case that Mr. Steele is starting on the 22nd of September. Okay. What is his age? Someone put in he was 22. Someone put in he was 22 in the chat. I don't know how old he is, but I think it was Annie put in he was 22. They don't have any, I guess they don't want to put anything out about him yet fully. All right, check you guys later. Bye.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me. We laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We cherish the moments, the highs and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click